What's up guys, Dr. Jared here, and this is a quick follow-along stretching routine to alleviate tightness and pain in your lower back and hips. So if you've got tightness and you've got pain in those areas, you're in the right place. These exercises are going to help you out. Before starting any stretching routine, I always tell patients that we want to keep the stretches in a comfortable range of motion. I do not want there to be any pain with any of these exercises, so please remember that. We need to stretch out, we need to get things moving, but we don't need to do it all at once. Consistency is more important than intensity. Now that being said, let's clear some space and get to work. Let's get started with a lumbar rotation stretch. You're going to lay down on your back with both knees bent. And now, very simply, you're just going to keep your knees together and your feet together as you let both of your knees fall over to one side. Right now, both of my knees are falling over here to my left side. What I want you to try to do is keep both your shoulder blades down. So both your shoulder blades should be in contact with the floor as you get this nice, good separation. We're trying to rotate through the pelvis, keep the shoulders down to create some rotation in your lower back. You're going to feel that. So as I go to my left, I feel that in the right side of my lower back and up into my right hip. Held that for 30 seconds. Now we're going to repeat that same thing over here to the right side. And so again, keep your shoulders down. Create that separation through your hips and your shoulders until you feel that good, comfortable stretch right here through the left side and down in through the left hip. And again, we hold for 30 seconds on each side. Now let's get into a single knee to chest stretch. So I'm going to extend my right leg, and then with my hands, I'm going to pull my left knee up into my chest, just until I get a good stretch down here through the left glute, just like this. Now in order to fill this stretch, you might need to take that knee out a little wider, but again, the stretch that we're going for is right down here, kind of through the glute muscle, and it might pull up into your hip. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds here on the left side, and now we're going to go 30 seconds on the right. Just until we get a good, comfortable stretch. Sometimes patients will complain of a pinching here in the front. If that's the case, just back off the stretch slightly. I don't need it to be painful in the front. Hopefully we just feel that good stretch in the back as we hold this for 30 seconds. Up next is one of my favorites for your lower back and hips. This is going to be a piriformis stretch. I'm going to cross my left leg over my right. I'm going to grab back behind my right knee and then pull that right knee up towards my chest just until I get a good stretch deep in that left hip. You're going to feel that deep in the left glute. There's a small hip rotator in there. It's called your piriformis. That's the muscle that we're trying to stretch out. This one feels good to most people who have lower back pain. This is the one that I personally prefer whenever I have episodes of my back pain that kind of flare up on me. This is usually the reason why. So we held that one for 30 seconds. Go ahead and switch. We're going to get into the stretch here on the right side. So switch legs. Right now my right leg is crossed over my left knee, and then again my hands are back behind my left knee, pulling it up into my left shoulder area, just until I get a good comfortable stretch through that right deep hip. 30-second holds, and then we'll go on to the next one right now, which is going to be a hamstring stretch. Grab your hands right here behind your knee, and then in this position, we're just going to slowly extend at the knee until we get a good stretch through the back of the thigh right here, through the hamstring muscle. And this is hamstrings, this is one that gets tight on a lot of people. I'd say 9 patients out of 10 who come into my clinic with lower back pain are experiencing tightness in their hamstrings. Those are good muscles to get stretched out. So keep that right in that comfortable range, 30 seconds. I'm going to lower my left leg, and then I'm going to repeat that over here on the right. So again, I'm going to clasp behind my right knee and then just slowly extend through the knee until I get a good stretch through the hamstring muscle, again, right on the back of the thigh. And then we're going to hold that one for 30 seconds. This is going to be our last one on our back, and then we're going to roll over and we're going to stretch the front of the hips out. That's those hip flexors. And so let's do that now. You're going to roll over onto the top. I'm going to kneel on my left side. I'm going to put my right foot out in front of me and then push my weight onto the front of that right foot. You can even squeeze the glute here in the back, so contract your left glute until you get a good comfortable stretch right here through the front of your hip. And the muscle that we're after here, it's one of your hip flexor muscles called your iliopsoas muscle. It actually attaches right up on your lower back. 3, 2, 1, go ahead and switch it up. So now my right knee is down, left leg is forward. I put my weight onto my left foot until I get a good stretch through that right side, that right front of my hip. So that iliopsoas, as it connects into your lower back, if it's tight, which it tends to get tight the more we sit, it can pull on your lower back and it can cause pain, it can cause tension and discomfort. And so if we stretch that out, this is a great way to do that. It's a great way to alleviate some of that pain. Next, we're going to do a forward fold. We're going to go into a child's pose. So both knees down, sit down on your heels, reach forward in front of you with both hands until we sit down kind of again onto the heels in this direction. And I apologize, my mouth is right here close to my mic if that's loud. And so again, until we get just a good, comfortable stretch, this is a great way to stretch the entire back. You can kind of tuck your chin down into your chest and just feel that stretch throughout your entire spine. Hold that for 30 seconds. You can come up out of it and then get right back down into it. Second time for 30 seconds. Now if you have pain on one side of your back, for example, if I had pain on the right side of my back, I could walk my hands over here to the left, and that actually enhances the stretch on that right side. So you can kind of play around with it, move your hands side to side to see what feels the best for your specific condition. But that's a good way to enhance that stretch and target it a little bit more. Our last stretch is going to be a cat-cow or a cat-camel. My hands are right under my shoulders, my knees are right under my hips. I'm going to arch my back up towards the ceiling, tuck my chin into my chest, roll my pelvis underneath myself to create a big arch up towards the ceiling. Hold that for about 5 to 10 seconds. Just appreciate that really good stretch. Now we're going to get into the camel or the cow. I'm basically just going to let my stomach and my chest sag down towards the ground as I gaze up towards the wall in front of me. Just again, a really good stretch through the lower back. And then we're going to get back up into the angry cow. Some people call this an angry cat. Not an angry cow, this is the angry cat. And then we're going to get back down into the cow or the camel right here. So it looks just like that. We're going to finish this up for the last couple of seconds here. And I hope that you feel better by following along with this routine. It's important to mention that stretching is usually only half the battle. If you're looking to treat your entire lower back, if it's feeling good right now, oftentimes core strength is an issue. If you need a good core strengthening routine, totally got you covered here on Tone and Tighten. Check out this video for that. For some reason, YouTube thinks you might like this video right here. If you haven't subscribed to Tone and Tighten yet, circle right here to do that. I'd love to see you back for future videos. Until next time, we'll see you again soon here on Tone and Tighten.